Hey, I'm Jack, and I'm going to show you 4 shapes for sweep picking across 5 strings. The first shape is a major shape, and I like these shapes because they all start out in root position, meaning the lowest note is always the note that the arpeggio is named after. In this case it'll be D major, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to start with my 4th finger on the 5th fret of the A string, right? And now I'm going to move up my 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the D string, then my 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Now my middle finger, my 2nd finger, will go on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then my index finger will go to the 2nd fret of the E string. And then I'm going to hammer down to the 5th fret of the E string. Now when I go back up the other direction, I'm going to pull off from that 5th fret on the E string to the 2nd fret, and then I'm going to upstroke my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the B. Then I'm going to upstroke my 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G. Then upstroke my 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the D. And finally upstroke my 4th finger on the 5th fret of the A. 5th fret of the A. And then I'm just going to move that up the neck so I know how to do it wherever I need to. A little tip here, because you're playing across so many strings, I like to have my right hand kind of muting the strings after I play it. So I play a note, and then the, whatever this part of the hand is called, mutes that string right afterwards. So I don't try to mute the string while I'm playing it, but right after, just kind of stop it from ringing out. Now the second shape that I'm going to show you is a minor shape. It's a take on this first shape. You're going to start, same position, 4th finger on the 5th fret of the A, and then you're going to go 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the D. That's the minor bit of it. Now you're going to put your 1st finger back on the 2nd fret of the G, then your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the B, and now you're going to reach back, and your 1st finger is going to go to the 1st fret of the E. Now you're going to hammer onto the 5th fret of the E, and now you're going to go back and do the exact same thing. I pull off to the 1st fret, and then I upstroke this, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the B, 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the D, and 4th finger on the 5th fret of the A. And then I do the same thing, I move that up the neck everywhere. So, this shape, this next shape, is a major shape. And it starts with a hammer-on. You're going to put your 1st finger anywhere, and you're going to go up 4 frets on that same string. So in this case I'm going from the 5th fret of the A up to the 9th fret of the A with a hammer-on, and then I'm going to down pick. My middle finger is going to roll across the 7th fret of the D, the G, and the B string. And then I'm going to have my 1st finger back on the 5th fret of the E, and I can hammer on all the way up to the 10th fret of the E. That gives you 2 octaves. Kind of neat, right? This next shape is a lot like that last shape, but it's a minor shape. And it starts with a hammer on as well, but you're only going to go up 3 frets. So I'm going to have my 1st finger on the 5th fret, and then I'm going to hammer on with my 4th finger to the 8th fret, all on the A string. And then I roll my 3rd finger on the 7th fret, on the D string, and the G string, Now my middle finger plays the 6th fret of the B string, and then my first finger plays the 5th fret of the E string, and then you can hammer on back still all the way up to the 10th fret. These last two shapes cover a lot of ground because you get over the course of 2 octaves when you play these shapes, right? If I wanted to get up to that 2nd octave with the first 2 shapes, I'd have to tap or slide or do something. Like if I take this A minor shape, that's great, I get to this note, right? But with the other shape, I kind of have to like tap that, which if you're really good at it, you can do, but I'm not.